Hello, hello, hello. Is everybody? Welcome to the Descubre tu Historia YouTube channel. Today, what are we going to talk about? We are going to talk about one of the first mistakes that people make when they start creating a tree online. And start doing research online, such as on platforms like Ancestry, Family Search, MyHeritage. There are things you need to be careful with when you start. And these mistakes, everybody's made them, or at least a lot of you have. I know I did 13 years ago when I first started. And well, I learned from my mistakes. This is what you need to watch out for. And that is other people's trees, other members' trees. Let me explain. All right. So this, I'm sure you're very familiar with the screenshot that I have. This is if you have done a tree on Ancestry. So you do a tree, you start doing your tree on Ancestry and you start getting hints. When you start getting hints, you start getting so some of them look like this. This is when another person's tree comes up as a hint for you. So Pilar Alicea is my fourth great grandfather. And this other person right here on the left has Pilar Alicea on their tree. So we both have a common ancestor, it looks like. Um, and they have actually some information. Originally, they did have some information I didn't have, which was the date of death. So, what should you do when this happens? So, should you just attach the information since they have this information that you don't have? Should you attach it and assume everything's correct and just attach it to your tree? No. Let's say you click right here on Juan del Pilar Alicea on that person. So this is his profile on their tree. So if you click on that, it's going to open to to his profile page on their tree. All right, I see that they have a death date. So I see that they do have a document, an image of an actual burial record. In this case, it would be a burial record because it would be church record. Should I Okay, they have a burial record. I read the record. It's him. It confirms it. It says that he's married to Maria de la Cruz Fonseca. Great. What should you then? Should you still attach this tree's profile to your profile, to his profile on your tree? No. So what you should do, the right thing to do would be either download that image of that document, because if you're seeing it, is because it is, you should be able to download it. Of course, I would try to see if you could find the original link. That would be amazing. A lot of these church records for Puerto Rico you can find in Family Search, but that is for another video. All right. So, what should you do? Then, I would download that document separately, save it to your computer, and then separately upload it to your Ancestry or whichever tree or wherever you are working in onto that profile independently. Don't ever attach another person's tree to your tree. So let's say I went in here and she has a burial record, a burial date, but I don't see a burial record. I can't see where she got the information or this person got the information. I'm assuming she's a she. Sorry. Um, you know, I can't see where they got the information, but she has or they have a burial date. What should I do then? Jot down that burial date and you research on it and you try to find that document. So you know they were likely passed in San Lorenzo. If it's 1857 in Puerto Rico, we're talking church records. Civil registration started in 1885. In another video, if you're not sure what civil registration is, I will explain more in detail about it. But civil registration were records, life events that started to be recorded and archived in the municipality level, at the local government level. Okay. Before 1885, everything, all life events were only recorded at the church. So 1857, we're definitely talking about church records. And San Lorenzo does have some digitized church records. So that you would jot it down and just start researching on it. That's the correct way to do it. Or you could write to the person and ask them, many people have written to me asking me, "Hey, I saw that you have this information. May I ask how you got that? How where you found it?" In my opinion, there's it's not offensive to ask someone where they got the information. If anything, that just tells me that person is doing their due diligence and trying to do their research correctly. Now you go in here and you see, oh, well, she got it from this tree. You go to that tree and they don't have the record. They got it from that. And then you keep going, keep going. You still don't have an image of a record. But all these people have the same information, right? Should you assume it's the correct information? No, don't. Is it possible for so many trees to be on Ancestry on these platforms to be incorrect? Unfortunately, yes. And the reason why, in many cases, it is incorrect is because of people going in very excited and start attaching information of other people's trees without verifying if that information is correct. So, what if you never find that burial record or you're just having a hard time? Jot down the information, just put it to the side because you never know. Records are constantly coming up. Family Search, for example, is constantly being updated with information and with new digitized records. And you never know. So, or you can try to contact the diocese directly and see if they're able to find the record for you. And there is information on Family Search. They do have a lot of information on how to do that. You can also just Google the diocese that the San Lorenzo Church may belong to, and they may have some contact information there. Just just know that the process when you do contact the church, it can be a slow process. Many churches do rely on volunteers to look for these records, and sometimes they just don't have the volunteers. So be patient. It is sometimes they expect at least a small donation. I do, it's always respectful to do that. But so other people's trees, don't disregard them. Use them as clues because sometimes I myself, as a professional genealogist, I see that someone has information that I don't, and I'm hitting that brick wall. I jot it down and I use it as a hint, clue for me to research on. All right. So I hope this helps. And if you are someone that right now is going, ay Dios mío, gays, I've done this. It's okay. I know how it feels. I'm not laughing because I'm not laughing at you, please, because I did it. I did it. And 13 years ago, I got too excited, too happy, just too much. My energy was way up. Uh, ended up deleting my tree and starting over because I did go back and start to review and read the records, and it turned out that maybe a couple generations up from my great grandparents, I was wrong. So it was just easier to start over. And so in that case, just see how far you've gone. And my advice is go to the beginning and start analyzing and reading those records. And, and give yourself grace if you do find a mistake. It's okay. The important thing is you found it and you're able to fix it. All right. But if you have any questions, let me know. If you want to see more content like this, let me know. Click and subscribe to my channel. I hope to be putting more content like this. But also, any thoughts of what you would like to see? What answers have you been looking for online and you're not finding specifically for Hispanic genealogy? All right, everybody. Bye.